Alright.
Here is the ultimate tank slash support slash healer build. During my time with this game, obviously I've gained knowledge through playing and through lots of difficult battles, and now I finally managed to perfect the class that I wanted to do since the beginning, but I just didn't have time to test it out. So now that I'm in between quests where I don't have much to do besides the main storyline, I've decided to test this out and if it would work as I intended, and it bloody does. The basic concept is cleric, but I've added some things, switched some things, and the most important thing is that you need to have good gear. Doesn't matter if you're playing a game with only 2 people, 1 person, or 4 party members, you need to have good gear. Otherwise, those higher level enemies will destroy you. So let's get going, right? This is what I've come up with. Currently I'm level 13. Obviously, if you're lower level, then you need to spread the points by simply removing 1 point from each of the attributes that I've put and from each of the combat abilities and everything else. So just reduce 1 by 1. Before we start, I'm using Lone Wolf because I'm trying to test this out with only this character, no other party members. So we will check them out. Let's first cover the talents before everything else. Obviously Dwarven Guile and Sturdy are because I'm the dwarf, so please ignore that. Living Armor adds 35% of all healing you receive by skills or consumables to your magic armor. So you can heal yourself and with it you will constantly restore your magic armor. Lone Wolf gives you all the beautiful bonuses that you get while you're playing solo or in co-op. Opportunist gives you the ability to perform attacks of opportunity. This is extremely important for any melee character. We are currently melee character, although you don't have to be, which I will cover when we get to the gear. Picture of Health gives you extra vitality. It's not that worth it in the beginning. It's better if you use it later on when you have about 10 points in warfare. Then you have plus 30% more HP. That's huge. And Sturdy is from the racial special skill. Some of the others that you can use also Comeback Kid, Executioner. If you want more tankability, you can go for Ice King or Demon. One thing that will be good with this build also is Walk It Off. You will not have plenty of positive statuses, so there's no reason not to have this, but it will reduce all the negative status durations by 1 turn. So these are all options that I'm telling you that you could use. Now let's cover the gear. Gear is simply the most important thing. Do that looting thing, pickpocketing guy that I did, and get yourself some money. Buy the best possible equipment that you can from that Driftwood Arena guy. He's got lots to offer and his stock constantly replenishes with new items, so this is what I have. I have level 13, which is the same level as I am. You need to have equipment that is the same level as yours. You get a debuff if you're using equipment that is higher level than yours. For example, if you're using weapon, then you receive less accuracy with it. I'm not sure what armor does if you're wearing higher level armor, but I don't think it's anything good. Important thing is a good shield that will provide you with lots of physical and magic armor. This is nothing special of a shield. You can see its worth. It's only about 700 coins, but it's got lots to offer. I suggest combining some pieces that will give you more magic armor and some pieces that will give you more physical armor. I have now currently chest piece that is for sorcerers, for mages, lots of magic armor. Gloves are for a fighter, belt with physical armor, boots for mage, and leg piece, leg harness, whatever, is for the fighter. So I'm now at almost 1000 physical armor and over 1000 magic armor, which should be something like that. If you can, would be lovely to even get more physical armor, because that's most of the damage you will deal with. And you will also receive lots of magic armor by simply healing yourself from that living armor perk. Another thing that I can tell you is that I suggest that you use lots of bonuses to Hydrosophist, Geomancer, Necromancer and Warfare. These are your 4 combat abilities that you'll be using. Try to get some of the items that have these on. You can see I have bonuses to Strength, Necromancy here, Necromancer, Warfare, Hydrosophist. Perseverance is good, also some more resistance to poison and water, also fantastic, because you are a tank after all. Here's some bonuses to HP and dodging, couldn't get anything better. Here's some basic HP bonus on critical chance, and here I have lots of things. Necromancer, fire resistance, air resistance, intelligence, constitution. From attributes, strength, intelligence and constitution are your primary things. Memory is also really important, but you don't need it this high. Not at all. Maximum 20 with Lone Wolf. That's about it. You can spend other points in constitution, strength and intelligence. Strength directly indicates how much more damage you will get from your melee attacks. Intelligence dictates how much damage you will do with your offensive spells. For example, Restoration, Armor of Frost or something else does not need intelligence at all. It will constantly be the same depending on your Hydrosophist level. Hydrosophist directly affects how much heals you will do or how much magic armor you will receive by using Armor of Frost. Or if we scroll now to some offensive skills, you can see the damage is based on your level and receives bonus from intelligence. So that's where intelligence comes in play. Same for Earthquake, Battle Stomp directly from Strength. So you can see that you need to have corresponding attributes to complement all these skills that you have at your disposal. Constitution is a must for every character, and you need a lot of HP, because even with physical and magical armor, enemies still have abilities like Marksman's Fang or Sawtooth Blade that directly damages your HP. Another way to build your gear and to build your character is by just putting enough points into strength so that you can wear some strength pieces. Usually 12 would be more than enough at this point. Later on you can add more if there's need for that. And you can also use Wand and Shield. That's also a pretty good combination, because there are no penalties for using wands at close range. So why not? You can also do that. That way you can redistribute strength points into intelligence and constitution. So you will be even more tankier with that, and you will do more damage with your spells, depending on what you prefer. I love this setup with shield and melee weapon. So these are completely viable options. Obviously you will lose from Warfare. You will not be able to use some Warfare abilities like Battle Stomp, which is extremely useful, or maybe Battering Ram that knocks down enemies, but you will have lots of other abilities that can crowd control, like Earthquake or Winter Blast that can freeze enemies if they're standing in the water. You have also Rain to first cast water, then make enemies wet, and then if they are without magic armor you cast Winter Blast and they will freeze. Still, I prefer this setup because of the Battle Stomp and Battering Ram. Now we are on to combat abilities. Here you will have to redistribute points depending on your level. Leadership, forget about it. If you're playing solo, you don't need it, or the other guy can have lots of leadership points. You don't need leadership points if you're the main tank. Better for the other person to give you benefits, because you are the front line. Put lots of points into Perseverance and Retribution. You can reflect a lot of damage, especially when you get this buff from Lone Wolf. Perseverance restores magic armor after you recover from frozen or stun, so that it doesn't happen continuously. Single-handed, obviously, because we are using a single-handed weapon, so that we can do more damage, but damage is not our most important thing here. Still, it's good to put some points in single-handed, more because of the accuracy, so that you can hit properly, not constantly worry that you will miss. As for the combat skills, you're going to have to redistribute points between Hydrosophist, Necromancer, Warfare and Geomancer. These are your 4 things that you need. These skills directly affect how powerful your spells will be. If you scroll over any of these, you can see what they do. With Necromancer, you heal for 50% of damage dealt. That's huge, especially good if you're using a strength-based character like I am right now. Hydrosophist gives you plus 30% more damage, 30% vitality heal, 30% magic armor from skills and potions. Geomancer, poison and earth attacks deal plus 20% more damage, plus 20 physical armor from skills and potions. And Warfare, physical attacks deal plus 25% more damage. Considering that we are mainly basing this build on tank, support and heals, I think Warfare can be least leveled up out of all of these 4. And now I'll show you all the skills that I have. So the things that I'm using are these. Cryogenic Stasis. This can save your life if you're in trouble. It puts you into what it says, Cryogenic Stasis, and you are immune to absolutely every type of damage. And you heal over time as well. Bloodsucker restores, depending on the blood that you're standing in, it can restore up to 500 vitality, which is huge. Living on the Edge will prevent death. Absolutely amazing spell that can help you a lot, because you can then recover from shields up and all the other skills that can replenish your physical and magical armor. Healing Ritual is good when you're playing in a group. Obviously, when you're playing in a group, you will remove Lone Wolf and add something else out of all the others that I've mentioned. Bless is default one. Decaying Touch is important so that the bastards don't heal while you're hitting them. Mosquito Swarm is fantastic simply because you will heal yourself while dealing damage to them. Infects nearby characters, and that means diseased. Disease reduces the amount of damage they will do to you, so you will survive even more. Get this skill, Raise Bone Widow, it's so good. Even with all the defensive buffs and everything, you cannot survive if full group converges on you. So this will be a great way to spread that damage. Obviously, I'm now talking about these skills as I'm playing solo. In group it's different, you don't need to use this, you can use something else. You can switch these skills as you prefer it. I will just cover some of the basic ones and explain what they do. Rain is always useful if you're on fire, and you can also add Freezing Blast, Winter Blast, that is to create freeze effect on your enemies. Restoration, well, no explanation needed there. Battle Stomp is extremely good because it will do a lot of physical damage and knock down enemies. So you have a lot of crowd control abilities as well with it. Armor of Frost, well, actually you don't even need that. You will recover your magic armor from your living armor and lots of other things. So it's good to have it, but mainly if you want to restore magic armor to other people in your party. Worm Tremor, well, it's an offensive spell that also entangles the enemies so that are staying in place, no teleporting or any bullshit like that, which is extremely good against marksmen. Reactive Armor is a skill that you want to use at the beginning of every battle. That will damage everyone around you depending on the amount of physical armor that you have at your disposal. More physical armor that you have, more damage you will do. Earthquake is extremely good, mainly because it will knock down everyone that doesn't have physical armor, and you will remove their physical armor with your basic melee attack. Fortify, well, nothing needs to be said about that, but it's crucial. Physical armor will constantly be under attack, so you need a lot of ways to replenish that. You have some innate skills, which are basically from the dwarf class. and this one is a special one for Beast. Shields Up is the skill that you're gonna cherish in every battle, because it restores a lot of physical and magic armor. Bone Cage is a skill that I get from the item, which I didn't even put into use. My mistake there. And Battering Ram is a skill that I also got from the item, which I think you should have if you're using strength-based character with melee weapon. It can help you crowd control a lot of enemies. So that's it. Everything is covered. I think it should all be clear now. Let's test this build out. I believe I'm ready to test this out. I'm going in solo. With your teammate you can easily defeat groups of enemies, but I want to test this solo. Let's see how far can we go versus one group of enemies with this build.
Come out, sorcerer. No harm will come to you.
He turns towards you.
Since when does
He gives you
so
The biggest issue that you can deal with are the assassins. They can bypass your complete physical and magical armor by simply using that sawtooth blade or whatever the skill's name is. So can marksman with marksman's fang. Before we lose the physical armor, I want to use reactive armor. Well, actually, I'm going to replenish first what I've lost, and then use reactive armor. That way I will do much more damage. There we go. Now you can immediately cast the other bastard so that he helps you out. It's really hard without any kind of summon to do it solo, because summons can take some damage away from you. He will die fast, but he will be helpful. At least to some extent. Well, actually too, he's going to be helpful a lot. You can see the damage that the bastard is doing. I tried doing this without the summon, but it's impossible. You just receive so much bloody damage, even with all your defensive abilities. You're fucked. And the game is not designed that way, so that you play solo, at least with two people. I am playing this on classic mode, so that I don't cheat or anything. I'll show you guys right now that it's the classic mode, alright? So I don't want any comments, so this is easy mode or anything like that. It's not, it's obvious now, isn't it? So let's see, where are my enemies? Two have retreated there. Which could be a problem. I don't know how to get up there. Anyway, I will focus my efforts on the assassin, because assassin is the most pain in the ass thing in this fight. See, he managed to absorb some of the shots that would otherwise be on you. It's extremely important. So Magister Assassin is now without physical armor. What we can do now is use Earthquake. Earthquake will knock down both of these enemies because they have no physical armor. And actually we've knocked down these guys as well. Look how powerful this spell is. Absolutely amazing. I have 3 more action points, so what I can do is simply start attacking. If you have fantastic weapon, it's going to be awesome. You will still do a lot more damage than you would think. Gear is of the utmost importance here. I will cast Wet because I don't want my summon to die immediately. Oh, assassin, just go down. Crap, he didn't. But he might now. Good. The most annoying of them all is now down. I can focus my efforts on another enemy. Let's immediately cast Decaying Touch on this bastard over here. That way he will not be able to heal. Even if he wants to. I don't know if he can or if he cannot. It doesn't even matter. What matters is the fact that I don't want him to heal. Now we are starting to lose our physical armor, which is obvious. With the Retribution skill, some of the damage is constantly reflected. Actually, a lot of the damage is reflected. 78 reflected damage. That's unbelievable. I didn't know it was so powerful. So alright, one fight down, let's go to another fight. We have 3 guys over here. Let's see what will happen. Gonna wait for my skills to cool down. So this guy, ooh, he's got lots of armor. At least no bloody assassins. Tactical retreat, that was a mistake, she's now closer to me. Yeah, you're not going to blind me. Not that easy. Immediately cast at the beginning of each battle your bastard. Doesn't even matter that he's blinded, as long as he tanks some damage that would otherwise come your way. And we've done it. Not a problem at all. I think, lads, that I've proven my point. This is a fantastic build. I hope you're going to enjoy it as I did. I mean, it's really fun to play like this. If you add one more player to it, you're going to be strolling through this game on classic mode in co-op, because you will be able to heal, tank, and whatever you want, and it's fun to do it. While the other guy, if you're playing with a friend or someone, can DPS, which most people like to do the most anyway, but this is so goddamn fun. I can't really bring you that feeling, so you're going to have to try for yourself. That would be it. Thank you for watching.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.